Hey everyone. Okay, so with the news next month, August, that Scentsy going to be making a bit of changes to our contacts and everything, which the change is for the better. It's going to help us with people who, I'm not sure if you watched the video yet or not from Heidi and Orville, but it's going to show us, it's going to teach people, what am I trying to say? Sorry. What it's going to do is when our past customers from our websites, when they place an order, it's going to, because of their information is already stored in the database, their contact info, it means they're going to be able to automatically be directed to us for their orders. So let's say somebody a year ago placed an order with me but can't remember what my name is. When they type their address in to Scentsy.com to place an order, it's going to connect them automatically with me, as long as I have their contact info programmed into my contacts. So that's what I have been wanting to work on ever since they announced this, because, shame on me, but I have not been vigilant in entering my contacts like I should be the last 4.5 years. When someone gives me their email address, I've been entering that, but I have not been putting in all the rest of their info. I haven't been collecting it necessarily. The ones I have, I've been putting in, but I haven't been really great. So this is what I'm trying to clean up right now. So this is my laptop, and I just wanted to show you because I mentioned this and a few people were asking how it works and what to do. So we're going to go in. So you're going to go into your workstation, and I'll zoom in on the parts that you need to see. Because I cleaned this up yesterday, I didn't have anything to clean up today. So I've made up some fake names and email addresses and everything to work on. So, okay, this is the workstation, as everybody I'm sure already knows. And bear with me here. Okay, so you click on contacts. I'm trying to do this and see. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're in contacts. And on the side here, it says merge duplicate. So you want to click on that. Now in here, this is great here. If you read these directions, it says to merge duplicates, and it says this feature allows you to clean up your contacts list by merging duplicate records. For step-by-step instructions, click here. That is what I did yesterday. I clicked on this and read through exactly what to do. They walk you through it pretty well, and that's how I followed up and made sure to clean up my duplicates. It says to maintain an accurate contacts list, it's best to perform this function monthly. I highly recommend that. I couldn't agree more. Don't wait till it's been 4 years and then you try to do this. It takes you hours. And it says you may choose how you would like your records to be filtered and sorted. So let's start with name. Select how you would like your filtered duplicate results. You've got name, you have email. I hope you guys can see this. Sorry. You have, okay, so you have name, you have email, you have address. So let's start with name. You click on that and you click proceed, and it's going to generate a list of anything, anybody, any contacts you have that have the same name. Now, right now I only have one in here because that's, like I said, I cleaned up my list yesterday. But John Smith, it's telling me that John Smith over here, it's telling me that there's 3. So when you click on view, then it pulls up the primary contact information. What you want to do is you want to move down the page, scroll down to the bottom. This is the information here where I look at first. So it's showing 3 John Smiths. Now, of course, that is a popular name, obviously, so you might have more than one John Smith in there, and they could be 2 different people. So here's where you really have to pay attention. Look at the address. If you know that this John Smith lived at all 3 of these addresses, they just got 3 contacts put in, so this is the same person, you know this is the right John Smith, then you know that you want to duplicate them, or merge them, sorry. You want to merge these duplicates. Oh, I hope this isn't too blurry for you guys. Sorry. Okay, so you know that he used to live at these 2 addresses here in Manitoba, but now he lives in Saskatchewan. So you move over to the side here where it says primary, and you pick which one that you know is correct. So we're going to go with the Saskatchewan address. So we're going to click on this as the primary right here. And then you have to, the ones you want to merge. If you're wanting to merge all 3 of these together, if these are the same people, then you're going to just click check all, and it is going to merge the other 2. Let's say that this John Smith was by himself and this was a different John Smith, but you have 2 of them, then you wouldn't have to click check all. You would just want to merge these 2 together. But because I know that this guy here is all the same person, I'm going to click check all. Next, you need to make sure where it says Volata and Scentsy that Scentsy is checked off. As soon as that's done, then this submit button pops up. See, when you take it away, there's no submit button. You need to click on that in order for it to submit. Now, this is a good time here because, see, when you have primary clicked and you move it back up to the top, John Smith, here's all the information that has been put in about him. As long as this is all right, that's perfect. If you are missing some information, like if you have a phone number or an email address, now's the time when you want to put it in. And you do want to add these in because as of August, it's going to be really helpful when all of your contact information is in the computer. So let's pretend we don't have his phone number or his email address, but we know this is the right address here. So then we just double check. Sensi is checked off. You got your primary is the right one. You're merging the other two. And here's where you hit submit. And up here it pops up and it says Workstation. It says you're about to permanently merge these contacts together. Are you sure you wish to continue? So yes, you are. And you give it a second. And it's done. Contact records have been successfully merged. And then you scroll back down to the bottom of the page and you'll see that there's only one here instead of 3. And you can hit back to list and carry on with the others. Like I said, I don't have any others because I cleaned it up yesterday. So that would be all of the ones for the same names done together. Okay, next. Merge duplicates. I go through all 3, or I did yesterday. I went through name first, and then I did email, and then I did address. So now I want to see any contacts I have that have the same email address, if I can merge any of them together. So click on email, click on proceed. Okay, so there's 2 in the list here. The second one is the one that I made up for today. The other one shows that there is a count of 55. The reason it's showing that means there's 55 different email addresses that are the same is because there is no email address put in here. So I have 55 contacts in my contact list here that don't have email addresses that I'm obviously not going to merge together because they're different. They're all different people. So the one here, this is the one that I made up, this Jane McDonald's. We're going to go over here. And we're going to click on view. So it pulls this up and I go right to the bottom of the page. Okay, so it's showing the same email address. That's how it generated the list for me. But it's what it's, oh, I'm really sorry about this. I'm trying to do this through my phone. Okay, but what it's showing is Jane McDonald is spelled M-A-C and Jane McDonald is M-C. So you just entered it 2 different ways when you entered in contact info at one point or another. But you know they're the same person, you know that because they have the same email address, or you know that this is the right person. So what you're doing is you're wanting to pick which one is the correct one. So, okay, you had it spelled as Jane M-A-C McDonald, but you know that it's supposed to be M-C Donald. So you can click on that. And again, then you go back up here, and now's a good time when you can put in any information. Now, I don't have an address or anything on this person. This is where I should be putting one in. So if I have one, enter it in. And if I don't, and this person places another order, make sure and get the address. Update this contact as much as you can. Okay, so then you're back down to here. So now you're looking for that submit button that's right here. You want to make sure you're on primary. You've picked which one you want. This is the correct name. You want to check all because you're going to merge these 2 together. And then don't forget, now also you want to look here. Newsletter subscriber, yes, okay. Jane is a newsletter subscriber, it's checked off. And you move back here and you click on Sensi and there's the submit button. So we hit submit, it asks, are we sure we want to do this? Okay. And we wait a second and their contact records have been successfully merged. So you move down and there we go. Oh, it's blurry. There we go. Jane McDonald, only one in there. And we go back to list, but we're not updating that one again because that's the one with no email addresses. So last but not least, we want to merge ones with the same address. Now this is the one where you really have to pay attention because you might have, as you'll see here, I'll hit proceed. Okay, see, I've got several in here in my list, and I did clean these out yesterday, but these are people that live in the same house together, have the same address, and I don't want to merge them because they are 2 separate customers, like a mother-daughter team or husband and wife, things like that. So I've left those, but the one I made up here is this Jane Doe. I'm going to go over to view. Okay, and I'm going to move to the bottom of the page. And down here, okay, so you'll see that we have Jane Doe and we have Peter Doe. Same address. So that's why it pulled it up, because that's the list I was trying to generate, was the same address. Now you have an email address for Jane Doe, but you don't have one for Peter Doe. And you know that Jane Doe is your primary customer, that she's bought from you all the time. She's going to keep buying from you. And Peter, say he just bought once for his wife for Christmas and, has no interest in purchasing again. you don't really need him in there necessarily. So you can always just delete him as a contact, or you can just merge when it comes up like this. So we don't want Peter here as the primary, so we want to make sure that Jane is clicked as primary. You want to check all to make sure that these two merge together, because you know this is the right information. And you make sure that newsletter subscriber is still there, because yes, you know that Jane does want your newsletter. You have to click on Cincy so that you get that submit button again, so in case you missed it. Okay, so no submit button. Click on there. You need to have the submit button in order to make this work. Before you hit submit, you just make sure everything you want is in here. So you've got an address, you know that it's the correct address, you've got her email address, you can put gender in if you want, phone numbers, whatever you have, as much information as you have, that's great. And we're going to submit. Give it a second. Oh, right here, right, it says, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. You're okay, and there it is, they're merged successfully. And you go to the bottom, and it's only Jane Doe in here now. Okay, so that's basically how you merge. That's all there is to it. It's just really about paying attention to in your list down here which is the right person you want to use as your primary, or which is the right email address, or which is the right address, and then you can merge them together. The other thing I wanted to point out while we're in the workstation here under contacts is if ever you want to delete one of your contacts, and it happens, I mean, there may be a customer that doesn't want to buy from you anymore, or they've moved and they've got another rep and they're happy with them, and you want to clear out your contacts list. You don't want so many in here. So you want to get rid of people that you know are absolutely gone as customers, just to clear it off, make it look a little bit better. So I'm going to type in a name here that I'm going to delete. So this is, I've typed in the name, I'm going to run the report, and I found this person here. So now when I click on them here, I would zoom in a little bit more, but I don't necessarily want to show off all this information on this person. So when I click on the next to their name on the little box, and then you move over to here and it says delete selected contact. So when I click on it and it says delete selected records, and you hit delete, now this is the error message I was getting. It popped up and it said, error, this contact has important information in the database and cannot be deleted. And I didn't understand what that meant because I didn't know what important information was in there and why it wouldn't be deleted. So yesterday I went on the chat, onto the online chat, and oh, somebody's joined us. Hi, Scarlett. So I went onto the online chat and I spoke to somebody at support and asked them quickly, what does that mean? And she came back and told me that that means at one point or another this person has placed an order, and that's why they're under their contact information is in there, and it can't be deleted. Now let's just say that I had somebody's name and email address in here because they had wanted my newsletter at one point but had never specifically placed an order under me. Then that person could be deleted because there was no order. It was just their contact. But because this person here, this name, they've put in an order, I cannot delete them as a contact. So they said if you want to clean up your database to make it look a little bit neater and you just don't want to see these names anymore, then you can click on their name here and you can go to archive, to this little button over here. And you can hit archive. And they're gone. That's it. So they'll be gone off of your contacts list. Now, if you want to see where they are, who they are, which ones you've archived, over here to the left, you can click Archive Contacts. And everybody is in here that you've archived. And you can click on them. Let's see, you can click on them, click next to their name, and you can go back and restore them if you want. So if you accidentally archive somebody, you can always put them back. But I'm going to leave that person archived. So we're good there. So then I can go into contacts. Oops, sorry, almost dropped the phone. I can go into contacts, and when I click on the name, because that can put it alphabetically, I can either go, starting with A, or I can start with Z. But under A, if I were to move down to that person, to their name, they're no longer in my contacts list. Okay, so I hope that cleared everything up for everybody. That's it. There's really nothing to it once you get going. It's just a matter of looking and seeing, making sure you're clicking on the right primary person, and put in as much information as you can. I have to actually, now I'm going to take all my past paperwork that I have for the last year or so. I only keep it for a year, and I'm going to go and update all my contacts. So that's a big project because I've got a lot of customers from the last year. So highly recommend that you stay on top of your customers right off the bat. where add a new contact right here, and fill in as much information on this page as you can. You know, first name, middle name, last name, birth date. I can honestly say I don't think I have anybody's birth date in, but if I know them, I could be putting them in. Gendered notes, if you've got, I have contacts in here that I may not remember who they are, and I put under here, oh, this is Marcy's friend. So if I put that in there under notes, then I'll remember who the person is. Okay, then you've got communication preference. There's email and text, email address, then you've got phone number, all of their address and everything, city, and then down here, I'm going to assume that after August is done and Velada is finished, that this line will be gone shortly after that. So you really only have to focus on the Scentsy line. But that's when you can click off Scentsy, and there's all different options. You know, you can put prospective consultant, click whatever is applicable. Mostly I put in here newsletter subscriber. And I only do that if people have given me permission to give them my newsletter once a month. I always let people know they can subscribe at any time if they want, but by giving me their email address, they will be subscribed to my monthly newsletter. So when you put in the information, if you don't have their address, if all you have, you met somebody and you just have their name, number, and their email, put that in there. And you click off newsletter subscriber, and see how it says newsletter opt-out? That means they have the option to do that. And then you would hit save contact. So try to do that as much as you can, especially because, like I said, August is coming up. But if you haven't watched Heidi and Orville's video yet about the changes that are coming, they're great changes. They are only going to help your business. They're fantastic, but they will only work if you put in the work at the beginning by putting in all the contact information. So for those of you just starting out, or who haven't been doing this for 4.5 years, and haven't been entering it like you should, start right now, get everything in. It will save you a big headache down the road. So now I'm off to tackle my contacts list. Have a good afternoon, guys. Bye.